Hi, my name is Emma Katiraee, and I'm a certified Dubsado specialist. And in today's video, we're going to talk about Dubsado 3.0. So before I get started, I just want you to understand that 2.0 and 3.0 are actually separate platforms. You're going to log into them independently. So as a user, it's pretty seamless. You can use one or the other, but they're actually separate platforms. And the reason for this is that Dubsado wanted to improve on things like speed. They want to be able to launch new features that they possibly couldn't do in 2.0. So they created 3.0 for that. Right now, the improvements in terms of features are small. The biggest thing that you're going to see is just the change in the user interface. So how things look, where things are situated, but how the program works, like the sending a form or contract, getting paid, these sorts of things are going to be the same. The first thing you're going to see when you log in is your new dashboard. It's a huge improvement from 2.0. There's a lot more information here, and we'll go through the different sections. So there's a search here, so you can search for projects or for clients, which is now called contacts. You can send an email, a message, add task, new project, new contact. All of these are like quick action buttons. Then you can see like recently visited, where you last were, so you can jump right back into it. You can see forms that have had activity on them, things that are waiting on you, need your signature. I'm assuming like things like workflow approvals will also appear. Here are your events. I don't have a calendar connected to this test account, so there's nothing here. You can see your projects, invoices, tasks, and then this is where it gets really interesting. So this is your financial reports. So the cool thing here is, one, you're seeing a lot more information than you did before. Before, when you would log in, you just see the payments that you had received month to date, or maybe year to date, depending on how you're displaying it. But you can see things here like conversion rates. The cool thing here is you can display for like year to date or last 6 months. In this case, it's not really going to change all that much. I just punched in some data so that I had something to display, but it's all here, which is really cool. So I know people who have set up dashboards and other platforms, Airtable, Excel. This may not replace that completely, but it's a lot more information than it used to display before. I know some of these things were hidden in other tabs, but it's nice to see it all in one place in your dashboard. Same with projects. So how many new projects you've had per week, that sort of thing. Your lead sources, again, it's empty because this is a test account. So again, you can hit year to date and see what happens, right? Very cool. And even better is that you can hide things. So for instance, for me, I would hide this, I would hide this and this. This is how my dashboard is set up in my actual Dubsado account. I don't need some of the other information, like what I want to see. I want to see this. I wish I could move things up and down because these are the numbers that I want to see when I log in. But still, the ability to be able to hide and display like what's important to you is really cool. Projects. So they've made a huge change to the display of the projects. So if you click on this display setting, you can change it into boards, right? Or you can change it to a table. You can show or not show empty groups, right? So if you have statuses that don't have anything under them, you can display those too, right? You can group by different things. You can, again, hide or display what matters to you. So if assigned to, like I'm a solopreneur, I don't work with anyone else. So assigned to doesn't really matter to me. So I can hide that. If you want to hide status because you're grouping by status, so you don't really need to see that, you can also hide that. So you can play with this to make this your own, right? You can show all the way you did before, leads, jobs, and again, like you can hide empty groups so that it doesn't take up so much space. I personally am going the route of table. I really like the board view, to be honest. The problem is that it takes up so much space that when I have multiple, I have to scroll down a lot to see what I want. So that's the only limitation I see to the board view. Messages is a brand new piece here. So this is basically an inbox. You have these different folders, right? So you can see all of the different things that I've sent out. You have your canned emails over here, your default templates that were hidden before. So all those default templates can be easily edited over here. And the cool thing with the Dubsado 3.0 is they've grouped everything that has to do with that particular part of Dubsado all together. So here in settings, you're going to see everything that's related to messages and emails in one place here. And even better, when you hit compose, you're going to have a detachable email composer. And the cool thing is that you can add a client and select a project. So that client doesn't have a project. I think it was this one. See? So it assigns it. So when I send this, it's going to show up inside of that project, which is amazing, right? I have a lot of clients that are worried about threads getting disconnected and replying to a client in Gmail or Outlook and it breaking that thread. So these sorts of things are helping with that. You don't have to write it from inside the project necessarily. And so if I click here and I go different places, you can see that still stays there, which is amazing. And the next new feature is the ability to customize when you're going to send this email. So you can give it a specific date and time. So I can say November 20th at, let's see. No, not PM. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like 2:30 PM. That kind of thing. So these are all improvements over 2.0 and features that do not exist in 2.0. So let's go to calendars. It's now called events. These are the scheduled appointments that you have. So scheduled appointments that are in your client's projects or just in your account. Here are your templates and your group templates now. And again, any setting to do with events is now going to be in here. Syncing your calendar, date conflicts, these sorts of things are all going to be in here. But let's look at scheduler templates. So one of the new features in Dubsado 3.0 is that when someone books a call, books an appointment, they automatically get a calendar invite. So that button that you had in 2.0 that says add event to calendar, you don't need to do that anymore because it's automatically going to happen. And you can even create the calendar event description here. So what's going to appear in their Google Calendar or Outlook Calendar once it's in there. Availability is also changed. So you can see it's a lot easier to add hours here. It's not that calendar view. It's more intuitive is the way to think of it. You can also copy your availability from other schedulers, which is awesome. So if you're creating a new one and you're like, oh, I want this free consultation to have the same schedule as my onboarding call, you can just choose it from here and go. There is a little problem here. I don't know if the Dubsado team is going to watch this, but I can't X that out. So if I wanted to remove Monday, I can't delete it. There's still little glitches like that as you go through this. Everything else remains the same. The calendar is going to have colors. I don't have a connected calendar to this account. Yellow, orange is going to be like your external calendar events that show up here. Blue is like for projects. Green is appointments. So you have that color coding still going in there. And one thing, if you noticed, is that each one of these tabs also has its own color. So if you're a very visual person, this purple is events, blue is messages, this brownish color is tasks, forms is pink, and then flows is orange. Now moving on to invoices. The biggest thing in invoices is changes to autopay. So it's not something that's necessarily visible here, but if you make changes to the dates of a payment plan that's on autopay, it's not going to cancel autopay automatically. Same with recurring invoices. If you change something in a recurring invoice, it's not going to cancel autopay automatically. The other thing in invoicing is that you can see up here, you can track your time, right? And this little thing is going to show up anywhere you are in Dubsado. So you add the project, add the rate, title, and start tracking. It's just there all the time. So it's very easy to access. Otherwise, again, things are grouped. Any invoices that you have in projects, recurring invoices on projects are going to show up here, transactions, time tracking, any of it that you have going in your projects are all going to be listed here. Your packages are displayed here. Your discounts are here. So they're more visible than they were before. They're hidden. Sometimes people didn't know about discount codes. Your payment plans are all here. And again, anything to do with payment settings and your invoice appearance is right here. Forms hasn't really changed. The form builder was updated a few years ago, so that stays the same. So it's just how things are grouped, right? So all your forms are here. Your form templates are down here. So these are the templates in Dubsado. These are the templates that you've created. Again, you can display them as table or boards. I like boards because it is similar to what we had before, so that just works better for my brain. But again, all the forms that you've sent out are here. Sent, viewed, need action, like all that sort of thing is here. Let's look at flows now. So in this section, you can see all of the different workflows or flows that you have and all the different settings that require approval, in progress, paused, errored, or complete. And down here, you're going to see your templates. So the big difference now is how the workflows are built. So you can see it's a node builder. So it's a more visual representation of the workflow. So if I click to build a new template and I click edit, so I'm going to click send email and I'm going to pull from my templates here and say create. And then I'm going to add another action. I'm still getting used to this. It's only been out for a few days. And I'm going to add that and say create. So you can see it's connected that. And then I can say create a task and I can task. I'm just going to write that for now and say create. I can email. I can choose who to assign, create, right? So it's very similar to before. It's also different, but it's also much more visual. So I think the idea here is that they're thinking of launching conditional logic at some point. They haven't said when, but this node type builder is really going to help with that because you can see that it would allow for branching out and things like that. So that's exciting. It's still not happening, but it's exciting to think what is coming now with 3.0. Now let's look at what the inside of a project is like. So I'm going to click on this project and this is what pops up. And then you're just going to do that. And now it looks a little bit more like before. The thing to know is that you can collapse this sidebar and you can even collapse this other sidebar so that you have more room to maneuver inside of the project area. So very much like before, you're going to have your emails, invoices, tasks, events or schedulers, forms, flows, or what used to be workflows, and notes. Okay, this is very much the same. And if you open this detail section up, you're going to see that it's also very similar to before in that the project info is here, the custom map fields are here, and the client info is down here in the portal and activity. Things just look a little bit different. Same information is there. How it's rearranged is a little different. Other things to look at is like your notifications or updates are here. There's a search bar so that you can search by project, by client. It's the bar that used to be at the very top before. Your settings are also still compiled into a section at the bottom. So a lot of it's still working the same. It's just, again, how things look, where things are positioned is a little bit different than before. So a question that people have been asking me is, should I switch over to 3.0 or stay on 2.0? It really depends. If you're the kind of person who wants to jump in on something that's new, you're not afraid, you want to get in there, learn how to use it, you don't really mind a few glitches because this is still in a beta phase, then by all means go and switch to 3.0 once you get the invite. If you're worried you don't want to use this with clients, you're afraid of glitches, you don't want to deal with that side of things, you want your operations to continue to flow seamlessly, then stay on 2.0. However, what I will say is that even if you are staying on 2.0, I do recommend that you log into 3.0 once you get access to it so you can poke around and see how things are, get used to it. Like I said, even for me, like this is a huge adjustment. Some of the areas that I'm in day out look very different. I did sense like my brain is resisting this change. It doesn't want it. It feels harder than it used to. So just get in there, play around with it. Create a test project is what I would recommend if you don't want to do it with anything that's client facing. So I hope this helps. If you need help setting up Dubsado for your business, you want to automate a lot of the work that you're doing manually. A lot of Dubsado users, even though they are using it in their day-to-day, they're not making the most of the automations or not using automations at all. So if that's something that you need, you want to save time in your business, you want to automate a lot of the manual tasks that you're doing in Dubsado, reach out and book a discovery call and I can take you through what a Dubsado setup is, how it can help your business, save you time, and what it looks like to work together. Okay, I'll see you next time.